Hello everybody, again this is Devin Murray with AttractMoreFamilies.com, and today I'm just going to do a real quick master class on outsourcing to get more done in less time. This was brought to me by one of my friends who the other day asked me, one of my friends and clients, who asked me the other day, they are doing a USDA grant writing proposal and they needed to bring somebody on to help them write that grant. Not because they are not capable of doing it internally, but they're just as most of you are. You're busy, you're swamped, you're doing all sorts of other stuff. And then to take the time and try and get a grant written and that process done was just going to pull them off of what needs to be done, the day-to-day running of their private school. So they had this problem of what do they do, and they were asking me the other day about what to do, and I suggested that they outsource the job, that they find an outsourcer who can help them do the job much quicker than they can do. They can even find someone who's better than they did. And I actually suggested one website, which I'll get to here in a minute, and they were able to find someone who's actually written other USDA grants before, who was able to take on the project, knows how to do it, and paying them significantly less than they'd have to pay an expert or what it would cost to hire somebody in town to do this. So let's first look at, why would you want to outsource? The first thing is it allows you to get more done in less time. By having other people doing some of these routine tasks or one-of tasks, you can be left to be free to get your work done and do what you are uniquely brilliant at. So it allows you to get more done in less time. It allows you to focus on your unique brilliance. There's things that you do that you are great at. Running your school is probably one of them. Being a teacher is one of them. You might not be great at writing grants or editing websites or video editing. Now you might feel that you have to because you need to get that because the job needs done. But why not instead focus on your unique brilliance? Because it also allows you to have experts focus on what they're great at. Have them focus on their unique brilliance. So outsourcing actually does great. It allows you to focus on what you're great at, allows them to focus on what they're great at. And what you'll find too a lot is when you outsource to somebody who really knows what they're doing, it's going to take significantly less time. There are things that I would do that if I were to do them or if you were to do them, it might take you 3-4 hours to say write that grant proposal. Obviously that's a lot less than it would actually take, but let's say it would take you 4 hours to write that grant proposal. You can easily find an expert who knows how to write those well, who can do it in an hour. So it's going to be actually save you money, save you time, and allow you to keep doing what you need to do. Because you also need to look at what is the opportunity cost that you're putting out there by not doing the work. Obviously the opportunity cost being what is it costing you because you weren't able to do something else. So while you're writing a grant proposal, or while you are editing video, or while you're creating graphics for a new brochure that you're going to do to try and get new enrollments for this coming year, what weren't you doing while you were dealing with that? Were you not dealing with making sure that your teachers have great benefits so they stay, or encouraging families to refer, something that you were great at, something that's within your unique brilliance? You want to make sure you're doing that. The other thing why outsourcing is great is because it allows you to bring in a skilled expert for one-time projects. A grant proposal, you might only write a grant proposal once every couple of years. You don't need to have someone on staff who you're paying to know how to do that when you can bring in an outsourcer. You might not need to create that brochure for next year's enrollment. You might only need to create one every couple years. You might have to change the dates here and there, but that you can easily do. But actually creating a nice glossy brochure, you don't need to do that often. How about report writing? How often do you really need to have someone come in and do that? You might only write 2-3 reports a year. So instead of having someone on staff who has the time to do that, who then you're paying them to maybe not be as efficient at other times of the year, you can just go ahead and outsource that for a one-time project. It also allows you to save money by paying for an expert only when you need them. Again, this goes back to that conversation of why have someone on staff who has some skills that you only use once in a while. Why hire somebody who's a great grant writer when you only write grants once every couple years, when you have to pay them slightly more for being that grant writer when they're not doing that all the time? But you have to have them on staff, so you're paying, that bill slowly over time, and it can really become very, very expensive for something that you really don't need all that much of. So as you can see, outsourcing is a great tool to save yourself time, to get more done, and ultimately even save yourself money or allow you to make more money elsewhere by focusing on what you're great at. So there's 3 main sites that I love to outsource to. I'm going to talk to you about 3 of them and kind of what's good about each one. The first one is Upwork. This is the one that I suggested my friend look at. It's Upwork.com. It used to be, if you've heard some of my other master classes or some of my trainings or read some of my books, you'll see that I used to talk about Elance and Odesk. Those 2 have actually merged and they've become Upwork. So if you've heard those before, just go back and imagine that they are now Upwork. And basically what these are great for Upwork is great for writers, editors, graphic designers, virtual assistants. They're also great for video editing and audio editing. This is where if I was looking for someone to help edit a book or edit a report or to create a new brochure, this is where I would find them. This is also where I find virtual assistants who are great for doing those blog posts that you need to do 2-3 times a week. A VA can do that. They can take your content and post it on the web and in the proper places at the proper times. They'll have the tools to do that, whereas you might not have the time to do it because you're busy doing other stuff, and your staff at your school are busy doing other things. So virtual assistants are tremendous for that. Virtual assistants are also great for maybe setting up some special plans. I use these if I'm doing a big event, or if a school is doing that once a year recruitment or end of year, and you just need those extra hands to kind of help out and oversee and connect different people in different dots. VAs are great for that. Obviously, there's some great video editors and audio editors. There's also people that will take a video or audio and turn it into a written report. I do this a lot, not because I can't write or edit a video myself. I just know it's quicker for me to send, like when this is done, I can send this whole presentation in rough cut form to a video editor on Elance, and within a day or 2 I'll get it back nicely edited and ready to go. I can have that same person send the audio to a transcriptionist who will transcribe it and then write it into a report form for blog posts or for publication as an article. Upwork is great for that, and it's really simple. You just simply go there. You go to Upwork.com, and at the top you'll see hire a freelancer. And you just look and you type in, here's what I'm looking for someone to do, and then you can either hire somebody who knows what they're doing, or you can put it out for bid and you'll get 15, 20 applications within a couple of hours. You can weed through, pick them out. A lot of times when I do these, when I'm first starting off, I'll actually hire 2 to 3 people for the first round and see who works best, who's turning out the project that I want, and then I'll let the other 2 go and just keep the one that I really like. One of the questions I do get a lot on this is, why would somebody be a freelancer? What you find is a lot of people, they have a lifestyle that they like, or they live someplace different, or they don't want to work for somebody, they want a little bit of freedom. I find I have a lot of, I'm not going to call them stay-at-home moms, but they're moms who work from home, that have their kids at home or homeschool kids. There's a lot of those. I find a lot of military family members, especially military wives, are in this group because they get moved every 2 years. And it's hard for them to find a new good-paying job every 2 years when they're starting over at the bottom. Or they can become a freelancer using the skills they have, and all that it looks to you is that they say, hey, I'm going to take a week vacation while they move. And they keep doing the same job, and they have the same job history. That's what's great about the internet. So that's why people are these freelancers, because there's good money to be had in it. It allows them the freedom. Some of them also like having the ability to take Fridays or Mondays off for whatever reason, and that allows them to do it. With Upwork, by the way, it can be either long-term or one-time use kind of project, so it depends on what you're looking for. I have video editors and writers on kind of a retainer that I can work with them whenever I need to on an hourly basis, or sometimes when I have bigger projects like book editing, I use people from Elance to edit all of my books down from the rough copy that I have written and the audios that I have done. I actually have them write the book into the format and actually format it, and they do the covers and everything. I use all of that, and those are one time I'll hire someone just for that project. One of the other ones the outsourcing places I use is Guru.com. It's Guru.com, and this is really where I find computer and tech experts when I need them. These people are great for website design and updating, program integration and application development. So if you want to update your website and put on some extra pages or ability, or even just want someone who knows how to go into the back end of WordPress and can make the updates you want, like when I talk about SEO updates or blog post updates, or change the format a little bit. This is where you can find some great people really cheap. Or if you just want a whole new look and feel for your website, instead of being stuck with the local web developer who's going to charge you $5,000 for that new website, you might be able to go on Guru.com and find someone for $1,200 or $2,000. The program integration, you find a lot of experts on that. I find this is always the challenge when you buy that new program that you heard about, and then you realize you need to integrate it with some of the other programs you have, or get it to cross programs to talk. Get the accounting program and the registration programs to talk. Instead of doing it manually for years, you can generally have a guru, a tech expert, actually program an integration that maybe runs in the background every evening and makes all those and meshes the data so you don't have to do it manually. Really, if you're doing something more than 3 times, you probably want to find some way to integrate it so that you don't have to keep doing that. And a lot of times you might be able to pay someone to do that for $50. Find someone that can write a program that'll integrate those 2 programs and run in the background at night while everyone's home. Great savings. And if you think about what you pay someone hourly with a fully loaded wage, so not just their wage, but all the insurance you have to put on it, and unemployment and workers' comp and all those things, all that loading that goes onto it, $50 is nothing. These people are also great for application development. So if you think you want to make some kind of a smartphone app or a computer application for either one of your teachers, your classes, or for growing your program, these people are great for that. Guru is again great for one-time projects or long-term. I don't use them long-term. I know some people do hire them long-term. I generally just do one-time projects with them. Again, generally if I need a program developed or a website created, I'll just use Guru for that one-time project. Now I do have some of my favorites that I'll go back to again and again, but generally I do keep one on retainer like I do with Upwork. And the final one that I love is Fiverr, which is Fiverr.com, and it's basically anything for $5. So and what you can have people do for $5 is fun. If nothing else, if you're bored someday, just go on Fiverr and see what some of the weirdest jobs are that you can get someone to do for $5. But they're really good at, and you can get add-ons for larger jobs. There are sometimes I'll pay $100 to some of their developers, especially for like slideshows. When I'm doing a keynote speech and I need a really flashy PowerPoint presentation, I can go to Fiverr and have a person for $100 do every one of my slides beautifully. So, but generally it's for $5 and it's small tasks. Some of the great things which I use this one for are 3D book cover images. So if I have that PDF report that I'm using as my irresistible free offer for list building or to give out to people, I want something that looks like a real cover, like a real book or a real report, not just the image of the cover there square. So for $5, I can have somebody create what would look like a 3D book or a 3D report and have that provided to me so that I can put that on my web pages and documents, so it looks like a real image. Social media images and quote images. I use Fiverr for this all the time. I can get someone to take quotes that I believe in, quotes, the Devonisms or the Ace Academy isms, and I can have somebody take those and put them on a cute background and have that image ready to go up on social media, so once or twice a week I can post one of my quotes or sayings or someone else's quotes or sayings that I find inspirational. And it's great because I can find someone who understands kind of that quote and they've got some background images, so they can put the right type of background to it without me doing it or without it just being just the words. Because again, social media is a very visual image now. It's about pictures. Fiverr does a lot of SEO stuff, a lot of very simple search engine optimization, so making sure that there's some links pointing back to a article that I have or video that I have. They're also very good about doing some distribution channels of getting a video or an article out to all the different sources. They also have some press release options. So if I want to do a press release to somebody, if it's a very simple press release, I can use Fiverr. If it's a more complicated press release, obviously I'll go to Elance and have them do it. They can also do some simple editing. I can generally get about 3,000 words edited for $5. So I have a pretty good article that I just want a second set of eyes to run through and look for before I publish it. I can go to Fiverr and have them go through and check that editing. So simple editing like that. I wouldn't do it for a book, but for 500 to 2,000 words, they're perfect for it. And $5 is really simple. I have kind of my go-to people for that. Some of the other ones that I use them for are simple cartoon drawings. So if I want just an image for a book or a cartoon, or one of the ones which if you've looked at me before, you've seen the hands that like draw the picture and the words kind of in the background of a speaking thing because it catches people's attention. I can generally get about 30 seconds of one of those done for $5. So if I want a couple minutes done, it might cost me $25-$30. But those are some of the great things that you can do on Fiverr for essentially $5. Engagement is what they're called. And generally Fiverr is for short-term projects, for one-off projects, although you can use the same person for repeat engagements. There is no long-term retainer process that both Guru and Upwork have. Those two have actually a retainer process where I can just hire them, and whatever hours they use gets debited from my credit card every month or every week, or I can put an escrow amount aside for them to grab when they need it. Fiverr doesn't have that, so it's short term, but there are people that I've been working with on some projects that I'm 3-4 years now I've been using the same person because they do a great job and I know they're there, and every time they turn the project around in a day or two. And they kind of know what I want, but I don't know who they are. I've never really talked to them on the side. My Elance or my Upwork people now, I actually have relationships with them. I have their phone numbers. Some of them I have their home phone numbers. We talk, we email each other, we ask questions. Fiverr people aren't quite so much. Well, so I hope you found this helpful and useful. Again, the point of outsourcing is to allow you to stay in your unique brilliance and to hire someone else who's in their unique brilliance, to free you up to stay on your task and to get stuff done quicker, easier, and with a lot less headache. And honestly, a lot of times it's a lot cheaper to hire someone to do something who can get it done in a third the time it's going to take you. So if you found this useful, you can find more great time management, marketing, and enrollment growing articles at attractmorefamilies.com. And again, this is Devin Murray. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I will see what I can do to get you the response. Or if it's a big question, maybe I'll create a video like this that explains everything in even more detail. God bless and take care.